swatches. I'm going to do the volume 1 first, and I'm going to use my Pentel water brush for this because I think that the colors might be very staining, so I have a feeling that might be the case, and so I don't want to ruin my good brushes, my best watercolor brushes, so I'm being very careful not trying to touch any of these things, any of these colors. Okay, so let's start. So we've got Brilliant Yellow. So I'm just going to pick up some. I don't even know how much I need, but I'll start with that. Goodness, they're quite strong. Really pretty color, mind you. Very pretty. Very transparent, so it's true what they're saying. I do like this, but very staining. I can see that even in the swatch I already had a bit of a line here, so I can show you really quickly. Yeah, so this line right here, so it stained the paper really quickly. But it looks very bright, very pretty. So for crafting, it's a good thing. So you can see why you need acetate, because otherwise it would just stick to the page. So we're going to do second one. So first one was Brilliant Yellow, second one is Deep Yellow, and I would say it's more of an orange really. So I'm just going like this, up and down. Nice color though, I do like it. So next one is Orange Yellow. So this one is a even more orange color. I like how they dry quite even. The first two dried really even. The second one I'm not sure what's going on, so I'm just going to go over it. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. And next one. Now this one is called Flesh Tint, for obvious reasons. I guess if it was used on that's an interesting flesh tint. So if it was used in photography and they needed to maybe apply some of this color to give it some sort of dimension, I'm not sure why they thought that skin looks orange. And it's a very similar color to this one. I don't know. I'm not too fond of orange yellow. It seems to dry quite uneven, so I'm not too keen on that. Now Geranium Pink. Let's have a look at Geranium Pink. Oh, that's a pretty color, very like a bubblegum pink. So yeah, these colors would be great for like a fashion journal or an art journal, like where you're doing illustrations that you want to have this pop of color and want it to be quite unnatural. So this next one is Japonica Scarlet. Very unusual name, but wow. I love this color. It's beautiful. Very beautiful color. Quite a jump, sort of this pink and the red between them. But anyway, so the next one is Royal Crimson. So wow, that's gorgeous color here. I like it a lot. Very pretty color. Next one is mahogany brown, so we're already going into browns. So I guess this, that's a nice brown, mind you. So this palette probably was designed to try and cover off all of the needs. So I don't know, nature and people. So that's probably the color selection. So here is the sepia brown. I like this one as well. It's a nice color. I can see that the color now is starting to dry and kind of be absorbed by the paper, which is what they actually warn you about. So you need to try this on different papers and see how it would work. It almost goes matte in some occasions. I like that you can do a gradual wash, so you can go from a stronger to a lighter color. So this is light green, next one is dark green. Very intense. I would say this is sort of like a hooker's green. Can you see how these are starting to look very matte? So this is my first experience with them. Wow, this is a phthalo blue for sure. And so I'm keen to know how they would look on something like Tamoy River paper. They might bleed through or not, just to see whether they lose their color intensity when they dry on other papers, or is it, because this paper is not a great paper. So deep blue is just this typical dark blue color. Then we have Wisteria Violet. That's a pretty name. I love Wisteria. I made sure I planted Wisteria in front of our entrance. So it's like a generic purple, let's say. And then finally pearl grey. That's a very pretty grey. I like this a lot. Yeah, this is my type of a grey. Okay, so this is the first palette done, and I'm going to let it dry a little now, and then we're going to come back and look at it once it has had a chance to naturally dry. Okay, so I'm going to do the volume 2, which is the bonus pack, but because it's 40 colors, there's loads of them, so I'll probably just speed up the video and put some music for you so you can enjoy it, the rainbow of these colors. So let's go. Okay, so the swatching is done. I just shown you a little piece of tissue that I was cleaning off the brush on, and you could see how super bright they are. And having swatched the bonus pack, I'm actually quite impressed. So let's go back to the first one. So after swatching the bonus pack, I feel like I didn't really have to buy. Let me just get them. So here's the complete edition again, and that's this one. So 15 colors. Let me just zoom out a little bit. And having swatched it, I wasn't too impressed because I felt like the colors, for me personally, are a little bit limited and not as interesting. Also, there is an interesting moment of the watercolor. When they dry, they then hit a point where they start looking matte, and then almost if you give them a little bit more time, they then come back slightly, not fully. So some of the colors still look a little bit matte. Something with these two colors, I find them not as vibrant as the others. So that's that. And after I swatched these guys, I feel like I didn't really need to purchase the complete edition because the colors here, you have everything you need, and pretty much, for example, the butterfly wing blue is almost the same color as the sky blue, almost. It's a bit greener. So forget-me-not blue is also quite similar. I mean, it's good to have these as well, because the light green, you can see there is nothing like light green, but some of the colors are quite similar, and let's go through them. So there is umber yellow, which is a very pretty color. It reminds me of Indian yellow. There's cadmium yellow, chrome orange, super beautiful color, is just amazing. Very bright, very deep. There is chrome yellow, daffodil yellow, gamboge yellow, golden yellow, marigold yellow, yellow ochre. Now this yellow ochre is slightly different to the yellow ochre that we typically know in watercolors. So this one is a little bit more muted and sort of more of a, I don't know, like a mustardy kind of color. Then we have alizarin red, beautiful pink, arbutus pink, blood red, very interesting color. Then we have a jacqueminot red. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. You can read it here, right here. Then there is poinsettia red, rose red, and then we have scarlet lake, scarlet vermilion, tea rose pink. Then we've got Alice blue, butterfly wing blue, cobalt blue, and this side we've got a couple of the blues and then greens. Now what I find a little bit strange is that they're a little bit all over the place, and by that I mean you have a blue and then you've got two colors that are called blue but they're actually greens, and then you've got another blue here, then you've got a purple, then you have something weird, another purple, and then you go back to greens. So the color orientation or the sequence it comes in is a little bit strange to me, but that's not a problem. So forget-me-not blue. Then we have peacock blue, which, like I said, it looks more of a like a viridian green. There is a robin's egg blue, which is again another type of viridian green. Turquoise blue. It's not turquoise enough for me to be a turquoise blue, but it's a pretty color. This one I can hardly read. What is it? Oh, this is amethyst. So purple. Then this one, heliotrope, is kind of interesting. It's doing what the Daniel Smith watercolors usually do, which is separating into two. No other color has done that. And I can't, to be honest with you, tell you what color this is. It's something in between like a brownish, grayish, pinkish color. I'm not really entirely sure what it is. Then we have the mauve. Then there is a chrome green deep, grass green, very pretty color. Hunter's green, mountain green, myrtle. Yes, myrtle green, olive green, viridian green. So this viridian green is very similar to these two. Then there is the neutral tint, which is probably like a black, but it's a very pretty grey. If I compare it to the grey we have here, it's slightly deeper, but very similar actually. And then we have the Bismarck brown, burnt umber, ecru or ecru, and warm sepia. So very pretty. I'm very impressed. They're very delicious looking watercolors. So like I said, you have to actually try them out to know how to work with them. So they're not a typical watercolor that you would think of, but I can think of a better way to have some sort of watercolors with me on the go when I don't need to pack literally no palettes at all, because this is 15 and 40, so that is 55 watercolors coming basically completely lightweight in a very slim insert, and I can't think of a better way to transport watercolors or have them on the go. But like I said, they are a different experience altogether, and it's up to you what you like. I cannot see them as artist grade, but for me they're more like crafters watercolors, which there is nothing wrong about them. It's just good for a different type of a project, I guess. And also they remind me a lot of my childhood, and the felt tips, the brighter they would be, the more cheerful you would get. And after swatching these 55 colors, I feel so relaxed and happy. I can't explain. So there's like a color therapy going on here. So anyways, I hope you have enjoyed my little share of these Peerless watercolors. And it's super easy to make these chic looking inserts for your traveler's notebooks. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you soon.